devil's playground than me, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Satan.
This is Atlanta, Georgia, and you are looking live at the Dan Phillips Arena in downtown. WWE Universe is ready for the one-time-a-year pay-per-view known as Hell in a Cell. And Del Rio went for the big kick out of RKO. Unbelievable! He has it! He has it! Unbelievable move by Orton. And Orton wins.
Came back in, interrupts the count. Rhodes and Sandow are getting furious. And Kane is the illegal man.
He's also the man that is furious.
And Kane has just lost it. Kane is unloading on everybody.
This is what happens with a monster.
Well, this is what happens when you mess around with Kane's partner. It's okay for Kane to pick on Daniel Bryan, but not anybody else.
Kane has assaulted everyone in the ring but the official.
Well, let's not forget, Kane is still the big red monster. No matter what happens, he's got a short fuse.
The winners of this match, as a result of a disqualification, Team Rhodes Skiller.
Old McDonald had a go. E-I-E-I. No! 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 You are impossible! Action. I am the tag team champion. I think he's going to pick up more dead weight here. Cesaro, perhaps setting up Gabriel for his finisher. It's called the neutralizer. That is flat-out power, flat-out strength. Face first goes Gabriel. Cesaro's going to hook the leg, and Cesaro will retain the United States title.
You could have counted 20.
Kofi still really on one leg here. Oh, trouble in paradise with the good leg.
Does he have it? He's got it.
What resilience! What are you going to do here? He works magic from any position in the ring, just like there. Not where you want to be. 6-9 press. Mysterio head to the top rope. Drops the dive
Like a fallen sofa.
Mysterio Sin Cara with the win.
Go for it again, Sheamus. Go for it again.
The world champion calling for it yet again.
We're about to see a giant get beat.
Big Show trying to somehow get to his feet. Look at the look in the eyes of Sheamus. The determination of the champion.
The people rising to their feet.
Goes for the Bronx. Oh, and a KO punch.
Got it covered. Big Show comes Sheamus coming in.
Sheamus knocked down. Big Show wins the world title. Big Show is world champion. Look at Punk trying to escape. Punk's trying to escape from Ryback. Punk's trying to climb to the top of that cell. Ryback's going after him. The cell 20 feet in the air. And Ryback is going after Punk. This is absolutely incredible.
Ryback has completely lost it.
See it.
A 300-pound man, 20 feet in the air.
See him.
Look at this.
Now where do you go? Now where do you run? Now where do you hide? Punk is trying to run away. He's trying to retreat, but Ryback's got the champion. What on earth is Ryback got running through his head here?
Are they dangers all these men are in?
You're kidding me. There's no way. No. Ryback. Shell-shocked to Punk.
Episode 2 of No Holds Barred coming at you every Saturday, hopefully with a bit of luck if YouTube sorts itself out and lets me upload. Anywho, Hell in a Cell last week, not too bad. I was 4 out of 5 from my predictions. Plenty of time has passed since that pay-per-view, so I'm guessing most of you already seen it, but I'm going to run through the card and give my thoughts anyway. Also going to talk a little bit about Raw the night after. Not an awful lot happened, but we'll go through the main key points. There's a couple of bits and bobs wrestling related news we can go through, so let's make a start. Let's crack on. First match of the night was Randy Orton. He defeated Alberto Del Rio against my prediction. I thought Del Rio was going to win that purely because I thought Randy Orton still had to film 13 rounds, but it turned out he's actually finished filming that a while ago, so I kind of got that wrong. If I knew that, I would have said Randy Orton was going to win. But yeah, Randy Orton did win. I did think it was a bit weird though, because they really built up Del Rio as like a serious contender, you know, being a new Apex Predator. He's going to get the win over Randy. He's been attacking him, he's been getting all the upper hand. And that sort of leaves me with Del Rio thinking, how can we actually take you seriously going forward? Every feud that he's been booked in for ages, he's lost. He's all talk, no substance. He needs a big win against a big opponent to actually be taken seriously. End of that, really. So yeah, I was wrong on that one, but I was right on the rest of them. Team Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes, Damien Sandow, they won, but they didn't get the championship. It was by disqualification. Daniel Bryan was outside, getting the crap beaten out of him. Kane ran in the ring, beat the crap out of everybody, took too long, ref disqualified him for not getting out the ring. So they retained their championship, so I was right. But I didn't think they would win by DQ. I think they would win by a funny pinfall, like where Kane chokeslams Bryan onto Damien Sandow, he's laid out, referee counts. You know, that's how I thought that was going to end. But that's probably the right result, to be honest. I quite like the belts being on Hell No. I'm not calling them Team Hell No, that's just ridiculous. We know they're a team. I like the belts being on Hell No. I think they have a lot of funny moments, and they are all over both shows, which is really good. Because if you used to put the belts on, I don't know, Primo and Epico, are they going to be entertaining to be in the segments, the matches, the interviews? No, but Hell No are. So it makes sense until another tag team gets built up in a good way. So that's one prediction right. Second prediction right was Kofi Kingston, beating The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Not a bad match, once again. These two work really well together. Kofi is 3-0 up against The Miz. Will the feud continue? Not too sure, but The Miz was commentating over a Kingston match the following night on Raw, so they might try and spread the feud out a little bit further. You never know. Overall, really good match. The crowd were into it. They work well together, so I'm hoping they do keep them in the program together. We'll have to wait and see. Next up, Antonio Cesaro. He defended his US title against Justin Gabriel, won it, and I did say on the previous episode we're probably going to have this match. The crowd were dead during this match. The whole crowd were just silent as hell. It's as if they all just went, oh, I fancy a hot dog, or, you know, I'm going to the toilet, because there's just nothing there. There was the occasional boo from the crowd. There's a little bit of heat on Cesaro, but he needs to be really careful because he is not getting over. The crowd are not reacting to him. And like I said before, it's because it's the European, we hate America kind of bad guy. That's been done so many times before. How many times is he going to come out and say, your children are fat, you Americans are stupid? That doesn't work anymore. It's been done to death. That's why it's not working. They need to give him something different. So he won. I wasn't too into the match myself. I don't think it was great. Could have been a lot better, but Justin Gabriel played his role perfectly. He was really good in this match. There were some really cool spots from the top rope. Springboard moonsault off the ropes in the middle of the ring. That was quite sick. But overall, wasn't a great match. Next up was Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. And they beat the primetime players, Black John Cena, Darren Young, and the Big Deal, Titus O'Neil. They need to come up with a name for Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara as a tag team. There are quite a few flying around the internet. One of them was Casterio, and the other one was Raisin. I don't know, we need to try and think of some more. If you've got a funny tag team name for Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio, put it in the old comment section. We'll read them out on the next one. Yeah, so they won the match. It was quite a good match. I like the way they're using Rey to try and get Cara over. The way Mysterio chants to the crowd, Sin Cara, and try and get the crowd into it. He gives him the hot tag, so when he comes into the ring, the crowd cheer. It's starting to get there. It's a slow build, but pretty soon I think Sin Cara needs to be single competitor again and try and be taken seriously. He needs to speak English for a start. The reason no one can relate to him is because he doesn't speak a word of English. He's not been on the microphone at all since he's joined, so he needs to learn English and it might help him get over a bit. So overall, decent match. Next up was, funny enough, the best match on the card. I really wasn't looking forward to this at all. It really took me by surprise. There were some good moments. Big Show defeated Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship. Really good match, back and forth, kicking out of each other's finishes all night long. I think Big Show kicked out of a bro kick, he kicked out of a white noise. Sheamus kicked out of a knockout blow. And the finish was really good as well. It was a really cool moment. Sheamus was going for the bro kick, he was looking to kick off Big Show's head, and he reversed it into a KO blow. Pinned him for the 3, took the belt. There was a tear or two, which is weird for a heel to do, but the crowd actually cheered. If you go back and watch it, it's not all total booing. There's some cheers in there as well. Really good stuff. But just makes you think what's going to happen from here on out though, because Big Show, I did say he's past it, but if he has matches like that, it's going to be good. But then again, that's Sheamus. I did say Sheamus had some really good matches. He is a big match performer, if you know what I mean. It's a bit like a John Cena, really annoying, but in the big matches he does perform. So I have to see what happens there. Next up was a Divas triple threat match, Eve, Layla and Kaitlyn. Another bathroom break. Even the commentators didn't give a shit about this one. I think Michael Cole said 2 or 3 times, JBL, JR, you've been quiet, have you got anything to say? They were like, well, no, not really, it's just 3 women in a ring. That's all really. And it really took away from the match. There were some good moments in the match. Eve retained the championship, but they need to be really careful because they've just got rid of Beth Phoenix as well, the best diva on the roster. Divas division is dead, it's done, it's pointless. They need to try and put a bit more effort into making this seem like a credible division, like TNA do with their knockouts. You know, just put a bit more effort into it. Next up was CM Punk alongside Paul Heyman against Ryback. Cheeky little ending to the match. It was a really slow match though. There were so many moments where nothing was happening. Ryback was just chasing CM Punk around the ring, inside the ring. Wasn't an awful lot of action. CM Punk got a bit of offense, but Ryback was just too overpowering. Ryback had Punk up for the shell shock. Referee hits the low blow. They fall to the floor. Ref with a 1, 2, 3 really fast count. And that was that. Punk tried to escape the ring along with the ref. Ryback was just going absolutely ballistic, so he picked up the ref, took him in the ring, lifted him up over his shoulders, launched him into the cage, beat the shit out of him some more. CM Punk eventually got out of the cage. Ryback chased him out, beat him up a little bit. Punk climbed on top of the cage, and where are you going to go when you get up there? What's the point in running away and running up there? But a shell shock was delivered on top of the steel cage. I was hoping and praying for something else to happen other than that. Maybe Punk falling through the cage, that would have been sick. Maybe flying over the cage into the announce table like the Mick Foley Undertaker thing. Because as soon as Punk went on top of the cage, I was like, oh, something massive is going to happen. Because in the build up to this match, Mick Foley's been going, cement your legacy inside Hell in a Cell. And how did Mick Foley do that? By falling through the cell and off the cell. You know, just the way they build that up, set it up for something like that to happen, and it never did, which was quite disappointing actually. But the match ended like that. The pay-per-view ended like that. Ryback on top of the cage, chanting with the crowd, "Feed me more," and that was Hell in a Cell. Pretty much a straightforward pay-per-view, really. Nothing major happened. The matches weren't great. Show of the night was Big Show Sheamus, so I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars for the old rating. I'll tell you what though, if Dolph Ziggler cashed in, it would have been a 4, but because that didn't happen, 3. Raw the following night, not an awful lot happened really. I mean, this whole freaking John Cena affair with AJ thing is a blatant rip-off from AJ and, what was her name, Claire Lynch? Yeah, something like that. No, it wasn't. What one about Dixie Carter? Yeah, it's a rip-off from that storyline, and I'm not the only one that's been saying that. Kurt Angle's been tweeting saying WWE ripped off the storyline, but who cares? No one watches TNA, seriously. So he can't really get away with saying that. But this storyline is so shit. It's so annoying. I don't understand why they're going with it. It doesn't do anything for anybody. On the plus side, though, it keeps John Cena out of the title picture. Yeah, but it's just irritating. I don't see the point in it at all. But if you watch the TNA AJ Styles and Dixie Carter thing, it's all happening in the exact same way. You've got someone coming out with photos from a dinner date, hotel room pictures, all in the same order so far as well. So it's as if the writers at WWE have watched that and gone, yeah, we can just rip that off, that doesn't matter. It's exactly the same. Apart from that, Vicky Guerrero is playing Chris Daniels and Kazarian's role. This is pathetic. We don't need that on a wrestling show. Who honestly gives a shit if John Cena's banging AJ Lee? Fair play to him. Good on you, son. She's alright. But who gives a crap about that? We want wrestling. This has turned into EastEnders. It really has. In fact, it's worse than EastEnders. At least EastEnders is entertaining as a soap opera. This isn't even meant to be a soap opera of wrestling. It's just pathetic. So that's really annoying. Mick Foley was on the show, which is always good to see. I like Mick Foley. Yet again, cutting another promo on CM Punk saying, you didn't cement your legacy, you're just a chicken shit, basically. And CM Punk challenged him to a team versus team Survivor Series match. And when he said that, I was like, oh god, they've ruined it. They've ruined it. Putting Mick Foley in the ring, they've ruined it. He's too old. No one wants to see him wrestle. They just want to see him as a GM or on the mic or managing people, whatever. Just anything but wrestling. And then at the end of the show, which I thought was weird, because usually with these Survivor Series matches it takes them a good couple of weeks to build up their team, but they've done it all in one night. CM Punk comes out, unveils his team, and right then when you saw his team you thought, right, this is exactly what Mick Foley's team's going to be. It was just too obvious, because everyone's feuding against everyone in those two teams. It makes sense, get them all together because all their stories interlink, but at least try and spring a surprise on it. I suppose there was one little surprise that Mick Foley wasn't going to be in there, but the second he said, I'm not going to be in there, it's like, well, Ryback going to replace him then. Ryback comes down to the ring, beats the shit out of everybody. Cody Rhodes takes a bloody meat hook clothesline and a shell shock. It was just all slightly predictable, but I am glad Mick Foley's not wrestling. At least we can say that. So that was Raw. That's all that happened, really. Not really too much to report. And that pretty much wraps up the episode, really, of all the reviews and results and all that malarkey. I am trying to get hold of a PVR or an Elgato because I've just got hold of a copy of WWE 13, which is a really cool game. It's just so customizable. The universe mode, you can actually, instead of editing a show, you can create one. So Monday you can have your Raw, Tuesday you can have whatever, Friday you can have whatever, and you can just insert shows. So I've got Raw on a Monday, Ring of Honor on a Tuesday. I've gone and downloaded all the logos and wrestlers, and on a Wednesday, I think that's empty. Thursday's TNA, Impact, and then Friday's SmackDown, Saturday's NXT, and Sunday's just your regular pay-per-views once a month. The way you can just insert shows, you can create tournaments, you can create titles. It's just a lot better. I've not really got too far into the Attitude mode. I think I'm in the middle of the Rise of the X mode, which is really cool, but it sucks because I want to record it so we can have a little bit of video to go along with this audio, if that makes sense. But I need to save my pennies and get out of an Elgato. Any other really decent wrestling related news? I'm trying to think. Linda McMahon's really failing in a political campaign, which is good to see. Hopefully they give up and stop using WWE as a bloody PR stunt for her. Lydian Garcia was in a nasty accident, actually. Really bad car crash. I don't know what the latest on her is, but I hope she's alright. It sounds pretty bad, actually. Road Dogg's brother died, which was quite a funny moment on oh Jesus, that sounded really bad, but I was on Facebook and there was a picture of Road Dogg and it said RIP Brad Armstrong, and I was like, shit, that can't be right, that's Road Dogg. Then I thought, well, hang on, this name's Brian James, so why is there a picture of Road Dogg? And it's his brother. And for a minute I thought Road Dogg died, and I was on a call with Alex, Tom and Jake, and I said, oh no, that's alright, it's just his brother that died. They were all cracked up laughing, because I was like, oh, well, I'm glad he is alright, but thank fuck it's his brother. And it just sounded really funny. But yeah, that's sad to see, obviously, everyone on Twitter is like saying rest in peace and all this malarkey. Another wrestler died, because I think he used to wrestle himself. And that will do for this episode of No Holds Barred. I want to start doing some Q&A on these videos to try and drag it out a bit longer, because it is quite rushed and there's not an awful lot to talk about other than the results and everything. So if you've got wrestling related questions for this wrestling related podcast, feel free to whack it in the comment section. What did you think of Hell in a Cell? What did you think of Raw? Who do you think is going to win at Survivor Series? Team Punk or Team Ryback? It's quite, it might as well be Team Ryback, but it's Team Foley. It's quite obvious it's going to end up with Punk getting dominated by Ryback. You might as well pin Punk with Ryback because the title ain't on the line, and he gets his win back from the little feud. So yeah, let us know. Take it easy. See you all soon.